That's the next thing to do. Hey, y'all. How's everybody?
So Johnny, you'll have to give me a gold card member for Johnny Frappuccinos.
He'll give you his Johnny bucks, and you can trade him in. There you go.
Not the Johnny Bucks.
Frappuccinos while I'm out in Portland.
The Johnny Bucks are only for losers, so we can't do that.
Johnny got a Frappuccino maker, y'all. We're giggling already.
I love it. I made a slushie earlier.
And it makes ice cream too, right, Johnny?
It makes no. It makes milk. Well, I don't know. Actually, we'll have to look it up and see. No, it does not. Because, well, I'm going to say no. Because it makes things that pour out of the little spout. So it makes milkshakes, but I don't think it makes ice cream. I don't think it'll get that cold. But.
What about frozen yogurt then?
Well, you change the consistency, so you're in control of how thick or how loose it is and that type of thing.
So you can make soft swirl ice cream, I bet, by making it really thick.
We'll have to see. Because, I mean, it's here.
Johnny's back. We missed you last week. We had girls' night, which was fun, but we missed you last week.
Because here's my plan. That's what my plan was, and then retrograde said F your plan. And so what my plan was, because the move was very early in the day. We got going at 6 a.m. and we ended at 8:30. So I'm like, okay, I can get all this jazz set up by the time for the stream. And that was true. I got everything set up. I fought with the internet from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock just to get it turned on. Mind you, I asked the child at the store just to transfer it. I didn't say he had to walk it here. I said, just transfer from one house to the other. No. He created a whole new account. I was telling them backstage, I said, the people at the Xfinity said, is your phone number 444-111-4444? I'm like, that ain't nobody number. What is you saying to me right now? So they had, I think I have like 3 new accounts. I'm not even sure. I only live in one place. So I'm like, okay, here we go with this. And so I finally, okay. Anybody who's ever had to call anybody and deal with, and I couldn't call them because I didn't have a phone number to call
press
them with.
Press 1 for this, press 2 for this. I hate all that.
I pressed 1 and she said, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize. And then you're doing one of these things, number 2. And it's like, oh my God, why am I shouting at the phone? Like, she's driving me nuts right now. And I've hit 0 1,000 times just so I can get a person. She said, I need more information in order to help you. And I'm like, okay, but my phone number is not 444-111-4444. And I didn't even know that number, first of all, before I tried to call them. I didn't know all that was going on. So I did the chat thing. And so I chatted with 7 different people from 8 o'clock a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. And if you ever had to talk to customer service, I don't care where they are in the world, it drains your energy. It just does. And with the chat thing, if you don't constantly say something, the chat idles and then it cuts off. And I'm like, so there was one person that just kept putting periods in there. And I'm like, why is he putting the period? And then it cut off. And then the next person said, well, if you don't keep chatting, then it'll turn off. So we can talk about the weather. So I talked about the weather in Oregon and she talked about the weather in India. And I'm like, okay. And so my plan was to join y'all for last Sunday because I was here in time. But when I tell you I had maybe half a brain cell left after all of that.
And it's so true because like when you don't, it sounds like nothing, but when you're sitting there on hold and talking to the same people, it is draining.
It is
draining.
And then person after person, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. It's
transfer you to somebody else.
And you got to start all the way from the beginning and then do it again.
Yes. Oh my God! I could have just jumped off.
Johnny has 7 accounts now. And hey, Lori, saw you in the chat.
I'm like, it drained everything out of me. And I'm like, oh my God. And mind you, this is just, we're chatting. I can't talk to anybody because I don't have the right phone number to get through the automated system. So I'm like, okay. One child said a technician is coming out. The other one said your modem will be here tomorrow. I don't need either one of those. The boy in the store who messed up my account the first time, and if I ever go back over there, I'm going to snatch his britches full, I tell you. It's like, you messed up my whole account and made me talk to these people for 8 hours. You owe me $30 in a milkshake, I think. I think you do.
Thank you, Mara. I hate it. Like when you go in somewhere and you're purchasing something and they ask you for a phone number. It's like, I don't give out my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. But I've gotten to where now I just give them whatever the local area code is, because I still have my New York area code on my cell phone. I haven't changed it in years. But I always give them 867-5309 for those that remember that song from the 80s. Jenny, I got your number. I always give them that. And if I have an older person that's taking it, they recognize what I'm doing and start laughing. I said, sorry, I don't give out my number. If it's a younger person, they usually don't recognize what I'm doing.
It was so annoying. But that's what you get for moving during retrograde. But after retrograde was over, everything just started falling right back into place like nothing happened. I had a package that was supposed to be delivered, and I ordered it 4,000 years ago. And it was delayed and delayed and delayed. And the moment I moved, it arrived at the old address. Somebody, Doris, if she's in here, she's someone to send me a shirt that she created for Harrison Walls. And I'm like, I don't know if it's going to get here. So, but everything is now falling into place. So we're all right now. This too shall pass. Jen, what you got going on?
I had nothing. The seminar is closed out for registering, so it's not taking any more registrations. I have appointments if you'd like to schedule an appointment for December. JenLynTarot.com. I'm not lucky girl sending you milkshake money. Other than that, I'm just trying to get my stuff together to get ready for the seminar at the end of the month, which I'm not real good at.
Did I meet Hogarth? Is he here? I think I'm actually going to meet him soon. Don't hold me to that. If I do, I'll take a picture and post it on the thing or something.
Yes,
Jen. Becca, what you got?
I may have another seminar next year. I might do another one, but I'm not sure yet. For anyone that's wanting to register for one.
Cornfield for you, Trillium Tarot. That cow.
He is not.
Oh, did I tell you that she got hit by a bus?
What?
Mind you, I was asleep and I was dreaming, but still, she got hit by a bus.
Zell neighbor. It's like when you live near a train. I'm like 3-4 blocks up from a train. When I lived in New York, I always lived near train stations. And you get to where you wake up in time to hear the next train. Like you wake up on schedule. So I was laughing. I was like, Johnny's going to be waking up all night. Every time she normally gets up to go to the bathroom or anything, he's going to wake up listening for.
So I will meet Hogarth tomorrow. I haven't watched any YouTube, mind you, because I've been recuperating. I've been adventuring too. But yes, I will meet Hogarth tomorrow.
Yeah, you got a new area to look around.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be 106 degrees tomorrow.
Wow, we were in the 90s, like 98 one day, 90 something. That's really hot for us, and we're very humid climate here. It was so god awful. I'm like, I am not mowing the yard. I don't care if the grass is a foot tall. I am not going out there. That, as Johnny calls it, devil's breath. it finally broke yesterday. It was like,
Becca Lenormand, you got anything going on?
I know I need to go live with that grand tableau, but I haven't been feeling all that great. So stop harassing me, people. Get to it when I get to it. So that's it.
I knew you weren't feeling well. I was going to harass you to push you to go live because I was anxious for you to do it. And I'm like, no, leave her alone. She's not feeling well.
I had a pinched nerve from Tuesday. It just started to clear up today. So now all I'm getting is like pins and needles down my arm. So I told Johnny, I was like, you might see me popping in and out because I have the massager right there I couldn't even turn my head. Tuesday and Wednesday got really bad to where I couldn't even go like this. Like I was just like, and I couldn't lift my arm. And if I tried, it was like a super sharp pain all the way down my shoulder, my neck, down to my fingers. Like it was just like, So I found some old medicine. Don't do what I did, but it was probably expired, but I was like, I don't give a crap. And I ate them and it knocked me on my ass. And I was like, at least I got some relief for a few hours while I was sleeping, So, but I think I've gotten mostly worked out. It's just like right now, my entire arm is tingling and it hurts like right here, like the tendon. And it's all from the stupid pinched nerve right in my shoulder blade. Yeah. It's like, if I can just get it out.
It goes up into the neck and the shoulder and the arm everywhere.
Yeah, it's like back here, this whole side of my neck, my whole shoulder blade, and then all the way down to my arm. So,
mine's doing that, but that's my fault because I sit like this.
And that's part of my problem too. It's my posture, because I tend to hunch over. Yeah. I do that too until I ended up with this.
When you're working on a computer and if your desk height, scrunches up your shoulders. And...
Mm-hmm. So I've been hitting it with the massage gun and eating pills.
I've been sending her healing energy, guys. They're talking about sending energy in the chat.
Yeah, so I'll live, but it's just uncomfortable.
The spot it was in, because I was getting a twinge in my back to show me where to work on you. The spot is exactly where every now and then I get a knot of energy and I can't work on my own back. Mm-hmm. But it's like, for me, my spot, it's like a tension thing. It needs like acupressure. Mm-hmm. So I go over to this one cat tower I have that has a shelf, the perfect height for my back. And I lean right into the corner of the shelf to put acupressure on it.
I was doing that because of where it was hard for me to hit it with the massage gun without having to do this, which wasn't helping. So I would go to the house and find the corner of the house and just smash myself like,
trying to relieve that.
It hurt so bad. I was like, God dang it, like take the painkillers. But it's going away, But yeah, pinched nerves they're not fun at all.
Johnny, what's on your T-shirt tonight? The King of what?
The King of
King of Petty. Mm-hmm. I should have on my Queen of Petty T-shirt.
That is the head that wears the crown. I have nothing going on either. Oh, I do. Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be live with Dozen Cats Kelly. We are going to do a celebrity live stream where we'll talk about the gossip, a little too much news, not enough gossip, as Lena Rodriguez would say. And so we'll do that on Friday. And that's 5 p.m. Pacific here on this channel and 8 p.m. Eastern on this channel.
That reminds me, I forgot it's September. This Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time, Sacred Sounds of Coffee on Gail's channel.
And it's Labor Day tomorrow.
Oh, it is.
Or is it today? I don't know.
You're off tomorrow, so maybe you could do the GT for us.
No, not until I'm feeling 100%. Don't even play with me right now, Jenny. No. So yeah, make sure you guys, take advantage of those sales, stock up for Christmas. It's a good time. All those little, onesie twosies, stocking stuffers and all that stuff should be going on sale this weekend. So stock up for the holidays instead of spending,
If
money
you
on
have stores that you go to often, see if they have an app, because sometimes there's stuff in there that's not in the stores too.
Yeah, like right now, Bath and Body Works is having a crazy sale, so it's a good time to stock up on some of that for the holidays, and little things like that. So,
So, okay.
Because it's September already, Johnny, can you believe that?
It's September.
So
Where did the year go?
I
hate August. Always hated August.
It's just been crazy with politics. Just one thing after another.
We'll start with the story that's sort of taken over the headlines. I don't have, actually, I wrote this question before all the other fallout started happening. But Donald Trump in Arlington. Will this, again, I wrote this question when the headline first hit. So it's already kind of been answered. I was asking, will the Arlington incident harm his campaign? And it has. But what the problem is, when you step in it, acknowledge and then step out is what you're supposed to do, not double down. And
not put an ad on, post an ad that uses the photo and the film from there.
Like it's not even.
You broke the law, dude.
Hard, I don't think. If you step in it.
Who stands in any cemetery and
here's the thing. It got so bad that the Army had to put out a notice. The Army had to put out a freaking statement. That's how bad it was. Like,
no morals. None. Everything about himself. And pointed the blame to his campaign's fault. Like, oh, they're the ones that did it. No, you told them to do
it. On his freaking golf course in the shrubs over there. Like, what makes you think he's gonna give a dang? Like, come on now.
Well, especially about talking about the losers and stuff as far as the military. Then to do that, it's just.
And going through all of that just so you can take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Lori says he picked up an attachment.
Yeah, and then his campaign got physical with the worker
and verbally
abused. Told her, said that she was having a mental episode. Like, I mean, just keep stepping in it, dude. Just keep, like, you ever watch the cartoons where they're walking and they step on the rake and the rake comes up and smacks them in the face? We just keep doing that over and over again. Like,
that's him.
They just doubled down. I mean, JD Vance and all his childless women comments, he just keeps doubling down on it. It's like, so now he's got all the women in the world pissed off at him. It's just insane how they double down.
So my question is, what, I guess, further fallout or effect will this have on his campaign? Especially since now they won't let it go.
To Trump, he's getting bad publicity. He doesn't care because publicity is publicity for him. He thinks it works for him. I don't think it'll work for him this time. I think bad publicity this time is going to have a lot different effect than it did the last time.
Exactly. That's, yes. Press charges. Always. It was a woman.
Yeah, it was the woman that they
Okay.
pushed. And
I think
she's not filing charges because she's scared of Trump's stochastic terrorism. All he's going to do is just put out who she is. And next thing you know, she's going to have all the MAGA crazies in front of her house trying to her, you know?
I think he kind of gets away with this, like nobody's going to do anything. But what it's doing, the lunacy of it and the evidence that we've seen, it's making people partner more with the Dems. So it's changing everything for him, making him look like the bully and the combative one and the stupid idiot and everything. Does he get an indictment for this? No, but I get there's another indictment coming in pretty soon for him. But this is going to kind of end, other than people just it's affecting the people that are voting for him. It's smaller and smaller, less and less votes. But he's got another indictment coming. It's not related to this. It's related to something else. So pre-election.
Man, snake, whip, rider, bear. What is this going to do? It's just going to reiterate that this person is a chronic liar. Man lies chronically. Man lies and abuses. Okay, there's the news, the feedback. It's just going to be in the news what a liar he is. And a man that abuses power. So it's just reiterating again, can't trust the guy. He's a liar. He abuses power. He's a bully. He only cares about himself. Like, so I just get more of the same and criticism as well. There might be criticisms from people that are really high up executives of some sort. Do you see what I'm saying? So perhaps heads of certain departments or something like that. But there's criticism coming for him. But it just reiterates, you can't trust the guy. He's a chronic liar. He abuses power. You know, so that's what I get.
Yes, there is a lot more conversation about this. So this doesn't fade. The Eight of Wands and the Queen of Cups. It doesn't, mind you. They can use this on the left as kind of like a COVID type issue, to where this is the thing that could mark him for the next 2 months type thing. And you can keep doubling down on this and how disrespectful it was, and get every veteran you could possibly get to come out and say, because this is here with the communication and the gossip and the email, social media, that type of thing, you can isolate this in particular person. Five of Pentacles, because the Republicans are going to stand by him because they're already in it this far, so why would they not? But at the same time, you now have extra firepower. You don't even have to make up anything to fight him with. You just use what's already out there, and boom, there you go.
And just when you think he's hit a new low, surprise! So the question is, what is he going to do tomorrow? That's going to. He's got to do something even more outrageous than this to top this. You know, like, I don't know.
He's doing all his rallies in tiny sundown towns.
I saw
It's
that
just like
too.
crazy. Thank you, Deborah Ann.
I saw that too, and it was brought to my attention by this guy on TikTok that said, "Anybody notice that the only place Trump is doing his rallies are in sundown towns?"
And they're small towns. Like one of them only had a population of 3,000. That's smaller than my little one red light town.
And
I'm like, oh, crap.
and I had to go Google sundown towns. Sundown meaning if you ain't white, get the hell out of Dodge before the sun
Before
goes
it's sundown.
down. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy said every single place that Trump has been campaigning, they are all sundown towns.
Yep, they still exist.
Okay, I have two questions. Speaking of doubling down, one, I think three questions now. Wait a minute. First one, I said this in his tableau that Vance is having all of these recordings come out about stuff that he said, mind you, and it's not even like somebody had the secret Expector Gadget recorder, right? No, it's like an interview. So he's saying this garbage out loud about, ambitious women. Well,
yeah, and proudly saying
careers. They are the childless ones, and they're all of that stuff about women who wanted a career over children. They shouldn't be this and shouldn't be that. Okay. The question I have is, what is his problem with women, period? Where does it stem
women, period,
from?
or childless? Because I was going to ask you, what's his problem with childless women? Can't control them? I mean, his mother was a drug addict. He was raised by his grandmother. You would, maybe there should have been one less child in the world when she got pregnant with him. What is his problem with women? He's got mommy issues, definitely. And maybe if white men weren't like J.D. Vance, a lot of those women that stayed single would have married. Some of us are discerning. I could go a rant on him.
Roxana, that is Marie Laveau, right? Which I didn't know at the time, but I looked it up.
Oh, from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Voodoo Queen. Mommy issues. He's definitely got narcissism going for him. He's got mommy issues. He's very confused about what is a family. The mother caused a lot of conflict and burden in his little mind and ego. And he felt he bullies women because of that. This is going to grow. There's still going to be more things coming out, and also because he likes to push forward the patriarchal society. That he turns his back on women. He's got mommy issues. Feeling neglected.
The child, the anchor, ring, garden, and cross. What's his problem with women? He is new. He's new, but it's his relationship to a certain organization that is very dogmatic, that wants to achieve something in society in regards to relationships. So I don't know if that's the Heritage Foundation or the freaking, what's the other? I don't know.
Project 2025 and all that.
But there's, his problem is he's wishy-washy. He's only aligning himself. Here's the alignment because of his agreement with this organization that is very dogmatic and makes the public suffer. He'll go whichever way the wind blows, so long as it benefits him. But from this read, his problem with women is because he's taking on the views of that organization and how they view women. So I was kind of hoping the cards would say, oh, he hates women because he's gay, which, you know.
So this is not what this says. I just want to put that out there first. I think he wants to be a woman, personally. That's the way I think. There is some sort of internal backlash type thing, almost like estrogen jealousy or something. There's this card, when I designed it, it's a 7 of Wands. It's a man, rainbow suit, standing in front of the church. That's the first card that came out. There is something with the 6 of Cups. This is childhood. There's a balance here, or some sort of imbalance. There's also some sort of prayer as well. There's with the King of Wands, this hypermasculinity is something he internally rejects, but is something he externally accepts because he feels he has to. I think inside of him, he wants to be female. Now, I'm not saying he wants to be transgender. I'm saying that inside of him, he would rather, even if it's just drag or cross-dressing or something like that, he would rather be more feminine than he is. It's all tied, though, to childhood. This is a childhood thing. This is not where he got dumped in college or something like that, or some woman, you know, with the high heel stepped on his political career. This goes way back to childhood and family. It's inside of him, though, is what I think. Again, grain of salt. Could be completely wrong, but that's what I think. My question now. He was in front of firefighters and got moved.
Because Waltz had just been there.
Yes, sir. And I got all kinds of joy just rewinding it just to hear him get moved over and over and over again. Yes, please. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
And he said, you know, let me give my pitch first.
He didn't know how to handle it. He looked stunned, like, what?
Yeah, and then he called them haters. He called them haters. It's like, great way to make friends and influence people, JD Vance. Go ahead and insult the firefighters. Go ahead, insult everybody. Insult everybody.
Trump's got the military insults taken care of. You go after the firefighters and the unionized workers and all the women. Make sure you get all the women. Trump's got everything.
He still has not insulted childless dog ladies, and I'm kind of offended. We got the childless cat ladies, the postmenopausal women. I'm a childless dog lady here. Where's my insult?
Cat ladies have always had that crazy cat lady thing they attach to it, that women that are single that have cats are crazy.
So why not the childless men? There's nothing about them. Nope. I mean, how do babies?
Jesus was a childless man, a childless unmarried man too.
I was reading on Huffington Post this article by this surgeon, female surgeon, who does life-saving surgeries every day, highly educated, very talented at what she does. And she'll be like talking to a group of doctors, and something will come up about, you know, they'll be talking about, what are you doing this weekend? She and her husband or partner chose not to have children. And her life is full. She's saving lives. She's doing what she wanted to do. And they start talking her down even with all her accomplishments, because she doesn't have children. Oh, you're going to regret that one day. Oh,
I hate that
get
whole
out. Find the
thing.
freaking door.
You don't even know how much crap Tina and I got from our own family when we let them know that, hey, we're not going to have kids. I'm sorry, we're a-holes. We like being dinks, dual income and no kids. Oh, you're going to regret that. The hell I am. You're going to pay the bills? No.
Because my problem with that whole argument is you then are telling me just because I am female, the only thing that I was born for, thank you, Jude, was to have a kid.
Yes.
If that's what I want to do, fantastic. But if I want to not do that, then I should be able to do, since it's my body and my problem.
And here's the thing. Why are you imposing your view of societal gender roles on me? It's the 21st century. This isn't like,
Can I get you to carry it and push it out then?
Meanwhile, they don't want gay couples to adopt children. They look down on the Buddha judges and stuff. They
that just bothers me to no end. Like, you have to have a kid because you're a woman. Why? Who said
in the words of the great philosopher Tim Walz, mind your own damn business. That's it. Mind your own damn business.
Mind your own uterus.
Yeah.
Well, I think men, because there's so many women in the workforce now that do opt to have a career, I think these white supremacist men feel very threatened because they don't know how to compete against that. They're used to being in the boys' club, and you see it in corporate environments. It's like, yeah, here we go. They're gonna call women stupid and stuff like that. Put them down, put all their ideas down, and then steal credit for them later.
I can't.
So it's the men whose egos can't handle strong women.
The boys.
Toxic masculinity. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Well,
So, the question, Johnny?
my question is, will he continue to alienate voters?
Remember what I said about the cartoon guy walking and stepping on the rake and then boom, right in the face? Yes. Somebody make a meme of that with JD Vance.
Will he continue? Because he's not very good at press, is what we're finding out.
He sucks.
He just doubles down. He can't back up. And
even his laugh is fake.
Yeah. Like, when you're getting booed, your public personality, it happens. The crowd can turn on a moment, or whoever sent you there should have known ahead of time these ain't your people.
Did you see him trying to order donuts, Johnny?
I didn't watch it. I don't usually watch videos anyway, but everybody said it was awkward, and I definitely don't want to see it.
I got secondhand embarrassment. He walks into the donut shop and he's like talking to the girl. He's like, "Do you know who I am?" She's like, "No." "Oh, I'm JD Vance and I'm running for vice president." And she's like, "Okay." I mean, it was just so freaking awkward. So awkward. I was just like, is there anything normal about this guy? He's so weird. It's like you just try too hard.
You know who I am. Does it matter? What do you want? Do you want a glaze or chocolate covered? Which one?
And then you should have seen him trying to order the donuts. Yeah, some of that sprinkle stuff, and yeah, whatever sound like he's never been.
Some of that sprinkle stuff.
It's the most bizarre thing. Who has never ordered a damn donut in their life?
A sprinkled donut.
It's donut with sprinkles on it, sir, in case you need the vernacular for donuts.
Yeah, whatever looks good. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's never been in a donut shop in his life. I hear Don Jr.'s got a good one. Go talk to him.
Oh my God, Trillium Terror. Attention, Walmart shoppers. We have an unaccompanied adult who doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she said she didn't want to be on camera, but the whole "do you know who I am?" Like, no. Why
Yeah, I do. That's why I don't want to be on camera with you, idiot. He's going to continue to try to come off strong. His words are going to get highlighted over and over again because he's trying to take us back, nostalgia, and he's smug as crap. He runs a loop in his head, and that's his plan that he just keeps doing. And he's trying to look like he'll be powerful in government. But he's also powerful in that the hierophant, the patriarchal, the dogmatic society. He's going to continue to get people stepping back from him. He's also going to continue to attack women. But yeah, he's happy to move forward with all this.
Popular? Don't think so. But he's going to keep trying. Damn it, he is committed to keep trying to be popular. And since he doesn't know how to be a normal human being, he's just going to continue to insult people.
You know, if we were in high school, I'd say somebody shove that kid in a locker and lock it.
That's probably part of his problem, Jen.
Yeah, he probably got shoved in too many lockers.
Have you seen all the pictures that are coming out of him dressed in drag and stuff like that? It's like he
There's
just
an identity crisis still.
He's just a sleaze bucket, dude. Kind of like the same vibe that Ted Cruz puts off, but worse. Like Ted Cruz gives me that icky vibe that's just like, ew, I wouldn't let you watch my dog. JD Vance is like, I'm gonna let you mow my yard. You know, like he's just creepy.
Ted Cruz grosses me out.
Oh yeah.
He just does. Vance, will he continue to alienate voters? Four of Cups first card. His problem is he does not have media training. And you need media, neither does Trump, but he's a gregarious person. And so Trump at least will chat and talk, and he'll get himself over to those who understand him. JD Vance does not know how to talk to people, especially in awkward situations, especially when you force him to talk. Like go up to the counter and order a donut, as Joyce said, with sprinkly things. Just say, hey, which do you recommend or something? There's a way to have conversation without being weird or socially awkward. He's just not that person. That's all. But the Four of Cups is he's sort of submitted to his fate. He kind of has to be that person because you're running for the second highest office in the world. But here with the Moon and the Page of Pentacles, yes, he will continue to alienate because he does not know how to do nothing else. He's going to do this a lot more, actually. The Fool and the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is a card of repetition.
Yeah.
Thank you, Uma. And he's going to keep doing it because he doesn't really know how to break that in particular cycle. It will be comedy night if he debates Waltz. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Waltz is like the complete opposite, where, Waltz is like,
he loves a crowd.
Is gay, embrace them, and don't let kids at school bully a kid because they're gay. He's the opposite. He's strong in who he is, and he doesn't lash out at other people, where Trump and Vance are both projecting all their crap out onto everybody.
And I cannot wait to see
if
JD Vance tries to debate Waltz and throw his record in his face and go for that stolen valor crap. Because, I am here for that beat down all day, every day. None of this, when they go low, we go high. When they go low, you kick them in the face. While they're
when they ask Kamala about certain things that Trump said about her, she doesn't engage. And that drives him nuts. He if he calls her a name or calls her stupid or whatever, she doesn't engage. She just keeps putting out her agenda and what she's doing and what Project 2025 is about and how bad that is. But she doesn't give him any ammunition. He doesn't know how to engage with her.
I got my Oracle cards. I made these and I got them in. And I did a reading for Trump and for Kamala Harris, Vice President. And his reading, the first card that came out, interestingly enough, I said, okay, so these work. I got my confirmation. Was this.
Woo! That's a Trump card right there. They're like two peas in a pod.
Lie, untrustworthy, theft, and scam. That was his first card that came out. For her, I got her reading was all about him, oddly enough. And I got this one. Thank you, Judy. It's like lost, doubt, unprepared, failure.
Oh, statistics? Is that what it is?
And I'm like, okay, what is it about? So there is, and I got a bunch of other stuff that was like strife and fighting and all of that. And I said, okay, so he is about to go full-blown nasty for these next 2 months. Not only that, he is going to attack and he's going to be Donald Trump. So we know what's coming. He's going to call him more names and all of that kind of stuff. Here's what I want her to do, because again, Obama said it best, carnival barking. You know, that's all he just wants a show. He just needs feedback. He's not even running for president. He's running for popularity like he did the first time. And so pay him no mind. However, one thing I want her to do, and I ain't a campaign strategist or nothing, but I want her to stop making campaign promises. I want her to basically throw Donald Trump's words back into our face. Thank you, the essence of success.
Please do.
Because run for the next 2 months on being anti-Trump. No, it's not a policy-driven campaign, and that's usually where Democrats go, is this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. Problem is, and I've been watching a few reactions to those type of things, is she's saying like she's going to lower the cost of groceries or fight to do that. You're vice president now. So it's kind of a little bit of a bad look to tell me what you're going to do when you have the ear of the current president. And so it's not something I think that they need to focus on when it comes to like policy, because you could be trying to implement those things right now, even though you need something to run on.
They are working on it now, though.
Well, in that regard, wouldn't they need a bill to go through the House?
Yeah, she needs all of that. I'm just saying, don't campaign promise right now just seems a bit awkward.
Yeah, I can see why she's promising that, because what have the Republicans done since they've had the majority?
Zero.
Investigate.
Hunter Biden.
Yeah, Hunter Biden, and let's figure out a way to impeach Joe Biden.
The thing that gets
but your appliances have more rights than women do in some states, so that's a bonus. You know,
the thing that gets them the hardest though is calling them weirdos and laughing at them. So I hope they sprinkle a little of that in. I hope they don't focus on that, but I hope they sprinkle enough in, because it drives Trump nuts.
And
why do you hate being called weirdos?
Rallies, they're calling us weirdos. Well, yeah.
And don't let him run away from Project 2025, because he's been ass and elbows.
Now he's like saying he's going to help women's rights and all this bullshit. You've already proven you don't do that.
And then today he came out in Florida and said that he opposed the abortion thing that just happened in Florida. So how can you say, because he doesn't want to piss off the anti-abortion group, but by not pissing them off, he's alienating the independents and regular people that want abortion rights. So
but the women already see he put all those people in the Supreme Court, so he's not going to gain their vote no matter what he says. Mm-hmm. He caused us to lose our rights.
Yeah. And there was plenty of tape where he's just taking credit for it. I got rid of it. Everybody wanted to get rid of it. I got rid of it. I have nothing to do with it. I gave it back to the states. Sure. So now half the country, women and young girls that have been sexually assaulted, get to suffer because of a tiny minority, which is less than a third of the population. That's what they wanted.
I have one more on Vance. Is he helping anywhere with the campaign at all? Anywhere? whatsoever.
Is Vance helping Trump out anywhere?
It at all.
Or the GOP at all?
No, Trump. Just Trump. Is he helping that child at all?
Is Vance
Anywhere
helping?
with anybody.
Dude,
Because they're not campaigning together.
He's got a negative, 15 approval rating, Johnny? Negative 15? That's worse than Sarah Palin. I don't think Sarah Palin ever got into the negatives.
He's likely to replace him with Tulsi Gabbard. Now he's got her on his team, or Worm Brain.
Bless her heart.
So is Vance helping Trump anywhere? Yes, he's helping him lose. Isolating the party and diminishing it and making it smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Isolation and taking it away. Yeah, he's helping him lose popularity. So please, by all means.
Yep.
Keep going. Keep going.
Hangman anxiety because he's moving votes. He's shifting the votes away from him. All the women, it's like it's just drip, 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 bullying women. Not helping. Is he helping him anywhere? Maybe got a little bit of campaign finance for him. Maybe. You know, Peter Thiel probably kicked in a few million.
I think that's the only reason why the two Beavis and Butthead talked their dad into J.D. Vance, because they figured by association they would have ends to that billionaire's pocketbook for their own personal gain. You know, they didn't even vet the guy. They're like, "Oh, your daddy's got how many zeros behind his account? Yeah, get this guy, Dad. That he's going to be good for business." By all means, go ahead, Beavis.
Suggestion for the Harris campaign: find some people with a little notepad and an ink pen, and say that you'll do an interview with Vance and put the interview out there. His speaking is what's destroying not just his reputation, but that campaign. I would send people to him constantly just to interview, just so the scrap that's in here can come out here, and that's just free advertising for the Kamala Harris campaign. That's all that is.
I keep waiting all the day for somebody to ask Trump, did you stage your own assassination attempt? That's what I want to see. I want somebody to just blatantly.
Where's your bandage? Where's your scar? Where's your anything, sir?
Can I look at your ear closer, sir? Excuse me. There's not even a scar here.
The Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Empress. Everybody but the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is more supportive, more pat on the back. I got everybody else, though. Queen of Swords would be more like college educated women or voters, female voters. The Queen of Wands would be more of your single mothers or your motherless children, or childless women. The Queen of Pentacles would be my America card. He has damaged, even with the mothers, the Empress card. He has damaged the reputation with women. Women are the largest
voting bloc, demographic
voting bloc in this country, in a whole bunch of countries, mind you. And again, like I always said here with the Chariot card, what you do to them, you're not doing just to them. You are doing that to their children who will be of voting age at some point, possibly in the next 2 years. You are doing, and mind you, midterms. You're not just doing that to them. So here with the Chariot card, it's very hard for him to get stuff on the same page. Word of warning is the Five of Cups. Now, Five of Cups, you look really close. There's a rainbow in the clouds back there. So there is some hope, but it's in the word warning, which means this is loss and grief. Your campaign is a disaster because you're a disastrous candidate. There's your towel. Is he helping anywhere? No.
He made a post last week where he was insinuating he was getting ready to get rid of Vance. So I wonder if he's going to, because he's not going to follow the rules. Yeah, he's supposed to have him on the ballot in November, but because the ballot's already printing and everything, he doesn't care about that. If he wants to replace Vance, he will. He's never, he doesn't follow laws, he doesn't follow rules.
Thank you, Mr. DYL. Vance is your candidate, is your pick, is your, not your pick, but he is your VP ticket writer. He didn't pick Vance. He didn't pick Pence. That man was inserted into your campaign. He has never in his life heard of J.D. Vance. And I guarantee you that whoever put J.D. Vance there is going to have to be the one to take J.D. Vance out. Donald Trump does not run his own campaign.
Which is Peter Thiel.
And if Peter Thiel does not say so, then he's going to stay right
there. The only, according to reports, it was Beavis and Butthead, Don Jr. and I Eat Paste, that talked his dad into nominating picking J.D. Vance as his running mate. Nobody knew who J.D. Vance was except Beavis and Butthead, who have been working very closely with Project 2025 Heritage Foundation people, and the biggest donor is Peter Thiel.
He's just like Lindsey Graham. There's all these tapes where he said horrible things about Trump, in the past, calling him Hitler and everything else. It's like, these people have no morals. They're so hungry for power. They're going to go work for somebody they have zero respect for.
And here's the thing. J.D. Vance has only been in the Senate for 2 years. He has no experience at all. And the only reason J.D. Vance is doing what he's doing and is willing to kiss the boots and twist himself into a pretzel is because he's sitting there looking at the orange Mussolini going, this guy's got a week left before he drops dead and then I get to be president. Yeah. That's it. That's it. He's a stepping stone to his ambitions. Come hell or high water, he will throw his family under the bus, which he's already done. He'll sell his own mother and the shirt off his back so long as he can get what he wants. And he's a Capricorn. Extremely ambitious, and those people just want to get to the top. It's just he's just gross. He's gross.
I have a question. I have several questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's why we're here. So, the platform of the Republicans is going through a bit of change, where they say they're flip-flopping or trying to soften their stance on abortion. Now they have added
just to get the votes. They would not do that if elected, just to try to get votes.
Now they've added climate change to the argument.
Oh, really?
And saying that they are at the very least acknowledging climate change.
Talk about Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are trying to float the idea that, and it was J.D. Vance who I saw do it, which he was just parroting Donald Trump. They're trying to claim that the Harris campaign is copycatting them and their policies.
Well, I'm sure little Elon Musk, who wants to sell lots of electric Teslas, is getting pissed off that in every rally Trump's dissing electric cars. I'm going to give you so much energy, we're going to have so much, you won't, they're trying to get rid of gasoline cars. We're not going to let them do that. So I'm sure Mr. Musk has had his ear a little bending it about electric cars.
So I guess they've realized, oh crap, these are not popular stances, huh?
Here's my thing. It would work if we all had like the memory of goldfish or something, but how long has the world been saying the words climate change or human-driven climate change or something of that variation, and Republicans not acknowledging it is one thing, but they're saying it's a hoax is another thing. And then all we need you to do,
windmills,
argue about what to do about climate change, but we need everybody to at least agree that it's happening. They won't even come to the table on that part. Now they've come to the table on that part because they're trying to win an election. What I want to know is these recent stance changes, talking points, will they help at all? Because people sometimes believe campaign promises and rhetoric. So will they help at all, these recent changes to their political stance?
So now their political stance is we care for women's reproductive rights and climate change is real.
Mm-hmm.
After you've taken bodily autonomy away from women in 23, 24 states in the country.
Mm-hmm.
But now all of a sudden you're like, that was a bad idea. We're totally for women's rights. And climate change is real.
Thank
So
you.
Is it going to help them?
At all. Even a little. Thank you, DYL.
No.
Okay.
Their votes just keep shrinking. They're trying to hang on. Everything's changing. Who is partnering with them and stuff, and their supporters are in chaos. So the more they talk, and it just comes off as image. The more they talk about the details, the further it breaks down. They're seen as bullies and liars, and their votes get smaller and smaller and smaller. And a lot of them are blocked from getting their seats. Keep it up.
That's really cynical.
I'll be right back.
That's very cynical, and it's very condescending. Yeah, we've made your lives effing miserable, but hey, we'll fix it. Like, is it going to help them? Hell no. They're going to be seen as liars who are just lying because they lie, because that's what liars do, because it's a desire to get what they want, but people see it as solidly, no doubt about it, liars. They're lying. So no, lying about health, lying about the environment and nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no. Mm-mm.
There's your community, 3 of Cups. The word of warning is the sun. When I get a positive card in a negative position, it's either like the lack of success or lack thereof. Or in this case, there is some exposure. We've already seen your stance. If you're telling me right now that you've changed, okay, fine. But you didn't prove that you changed when you had a whole administration that you could have changed with it. Instead, you put Rick Perry, what's his name from Texas?
Yeah.
In charge of the Department of Energy.
Uh-huh.
When Rick Perry ran for president, he said he was going to do away with the Department of Energy. Meanwhile, the Department of Energy is not the gas station. That's where your nukes and your the Department of Energy.
And wasn't Rick Perry indicted as well for some fraudulent stuff that he was doing when he ran for president?
I don't remember, but I know he was under investigation.
You were talking about Kabbalah earlier, Johnny. It's like, to me, I would keep reiterating, he had 4 years to come up with his health proposal, which all he came up with was that big blank notebook. You remember when he handed that to that press lady? He had 4 years to build his wall. He built, 50 miles of it? He had 4 years to revamp the infrastructure. He did nothing. He kept saying in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, never did anything. I would keep talking about all the things that Biden and Harris have done for our healthcare and our infrastructure. And they had a border agreement until Trump messed in it. I keep throwing that back in his face.
And here's a question. And somebody explain this to me like I'm stupid, because I don't understand. He's proposing a whole new department in the federal government to monitor miscarriages and abortions in the US. Now, is it only the continental US, or are we including Hawaii and Puerto Rico? Okay, and how are you going to manage a database to monitor every single miscarriage in this country when you couldn't even manage a pandemic? Make that make sense. Make it make sense, because I don't understand. I don't understand. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know.
Well, you are a woman and childless, so
Yeah, I must be dumb.
yeah, like me.
And me too. I got the Four of Pentacles.
Connie's a nasty woman.
I got the Four of Pentacles. So no, it's not going to help. It's like they see what you're trying to hold on to. They see what you're trying to grab. This is the paranoid person. It ends in the Emperor. You just want power. That's all you really care about, is just trying to get back into that seat. You don't care about climate change.
Did you hear what Mitch McConnell was just caught saying?
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it was because he wrote it in a book or he did an interview, but he said that if Kamala Harris becomes president, the Republican Party is done, because she'll make DC and Puerto Rico states and show representation, and then she's going after the Supreme Court. So that lets you know right there that he benefits from the imbalance of power that is in play right now. He benefits from it.
Well, I have a couple after the election questions here.
I got one for after election too,
to just kind of see how people feel. I pulled some cards, and that's kind of what sprung some of this up. Laura Trump. I was Lena Rodriguez last video. I usually, when I watch y'all do y'all's readings, I like pull cards along, and and I pulled some cards for Laura Trump as she was reading. I got the Five of Cups, the Three of Swords, the Ten of Swords.
Ooh.
That's what I said. I'm like, Jesus, did I really go through and pick out every bad card I could find?
Is she going to owe some money back to the RNC? She's going to have to take up her singing career again.
I think that they're going to be in for a huge lawsuit after Trump is gone, and they wrestle power back to get the RNC back, because those people have just looted the place. They just looted it.
Well, this is kind of a...
I have to correct the chat. This is Skewy, not Roro. This is the boy. You can tell because he lets me do this.
I had some kind of like a backhanded way of trying to find out maybe what Congress and the presidency would look like. And I want to know what happens, not happens. How does Laura feel after the election, or what is she going through after the election?
Bottles and bottles of tequila.
Because mind you, if her dad-in-law sometimes somehow scams his way back into office, then it could be different. So, because he can't win with the vote, so how does she feel? Okay, understand.
Skewy's a lover boy. You know, if you were a man, that would do something for me, Skewy. All right, Trump. Rubbing kitty snot all over my face. All right, lover boy, up on the shoulder. She's going to have some legal problems. But I also get she abandons her position for a new job. And it has something to do with bullying women. So I don't know what that is. But she'll be fine with all the family money. But she does have like an indictment coming later. So something's going to return and bite her in the butt. Going to make her very anxious.
I get the fish, the moon, the tree, the coffin, and the writer. Your days of fame and glory are kaput. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. The fame comes to an end. There's business closures here too. So, and all the money that was there is gone. Bye-bye too. Somebody ran off with it. So, like I said before, I don't get it in the cards. I'm just saying I would not be surprised that when Trump is finally done, because there is no way in hell that man's still going to be alive, in another 4 years to run for president again, at 80-something years old to run for president again, that he's going to make it. So once the Republican Party can rid themselves of Trump, I wouldn't be surprised if they go after them because of how they've just looted the place. Yeah. They've looted it. And at the same time,
village.
At the same time, you let them steamroll you. You could have stood your ground and said no, but hey, have fun with that. That's your Frankenstein. Have fun with it.
And Frankenstein and horse face.
Her fame and her business and everything. And because it was moon, tree, and coffin, I don't see her getting a famous job anywhere else. She might be a visitor to somewhere like Fox News or Newsmax, but that's it. Like, it's just, she's done. She's done. And she's feeling pretty depressed about it too, because the coffin's there. So
there's her and some other woman here. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, the Empress card, the Lover's card, the Page of Pentacles, and the World card. There is a lot of, this doesn't say missing. I'm saying missing money or documents in papers and stuff that has to do with this organization that would spurn some growth. Like it's shrinking because of this person, but it's growing elsewhere. So they're either taking money and putting it into their own accounts, or there's something like that. It doesn't say rerouting here, but this is just what I feel, as though there is something here about taking money from a place, her and some other woman, or taking money from a place for their own gratification, but it is to help them grow something. Here with the Page of Pentacles, they have like agreements in documents and papers they're signing for the growth of something else, some other kind of business or some other kind of party or something like that, to where they're setting up to be successful elsewhere. And so, okay. Forewarned is forearmed, but he got Corey Lewandowski back. That's the same person who was accused of stealing from his campaign too. So they like these, I suppose. The other question is, how will Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, feel after the election?
Good question. For those in the chat asking who Jack White is, he's a singer, songwriter, used to be with the White Stripes, did Seven Nation Army. that Trump keeps using his song at his rallies, and he is suing. And he's been telling Trump off in no uncertain terms on Twitter and Instagram. Mike Johnson, you'll have more time to monitor your son's porn.
That's so strange, isn't it?
Yeah. All into everybody else's sex lives. Voyeurs. They're all voyeurs. Stevie. Lover boy. Don't stick your butt in my face. There's not enough votes. There's not enough votes. I'm going to go on a little trip for a little while. See y'all in the new year. He's going to lie about the election like they've done in the past, but he is very burdened. Here's my Kamala card. Very burdened by what's going on. See, this is Kamala and Waltz, and I get good news on them. The sun is shining on them. So the Republicans are just going to be in disarray. He's not accepting it, so he's going to argue about it. Lie about it, I should say.
So he goes back to his seat. There's some sort of lawmaker position, 3 of Pentacles and the Justice. But there is a burden around death, the giant change, that he has to accept 4 of Cups. And so, but, where's my thing? That does not mean that we, as Froxy Roxy said, don't become complacent. Donald Trump is going to cheat, lie, and steal. We know this already. And so him not winning is not guaranteed. So we cannot be complacent. You still have to go do your part. Numbers too big to rig type thing has to exist again.
I have a question. Post-election.
Yes, ma'am.
What's Trump going to grift off of when he's not running?
His tears.
I mean, is he going to try to run for 2028, which we all know mentally he can't make it to that? How's he going to raise money? How's he going to grift?
My business card flew out, so okay. See, there's something.
Yeah, I gotta get my business cards out there. Giuliani's about to lose all his properties to
We're going to him the next.
Ruby. Yeah. Trump's going to be next with Letitia James starting to lose properties.
Give him some Johnny Bucks.
They both owe, $500 million each. Well, no, Giuliani doesn't owe that much. I think it's 150 million he owes.
Oh goodness.
What's Trump going to do?
Oh, there it is.
I have a little.
He's going to lose his mind after all this. He's definitely going to end up in a mental institute. Delusional. Blocked. Sick. Lying, not accepting anything. Everything's changed for him. And where's my money?
Little monster.
Hello, Miss Braxy, my little pony.
Say hi to Auntie Biscuits. Say hi to Auntie Biscuits.
You miss Skewy, Braxy.
You missed him. He was on the camera. Such a good girl.
I get the King of Pentacles. So there's some sort of business venture. The Hangman and the Ace of Swords. He needs victory brought to him. So he wants people to maybe sacrifice in order to do so. So send JD Vance even said it too. Send your $5, send whatever you can, because we're fighting the Democrat machine, or whatever he said. So there's this self-sacrifice he wants people to do. I have 4 lovers cards in this deck.
You'll probably say, I won, send me money because I won.
Like that, because he needs the perspective for his victory, Ace of Swords, to be changed. And he wants you to give him money so that can happen. Because mind you have to pay for appeals or recounts and all that kind of stuff. I have 4 lovers cards in this deck, and I drew 3 of them. And then the 4th one was on the bottom too. And so he has an audience for this type of thing, and he's going to get it. He's whatever money he's asking them for, they're all in, because they believe that he is telling them the truth, that he was screwed, or he's been.
So what you're saying is
words. That's crazy.
2020 all over again. It was stolen. It was stolen. Stop the count. Keep the count. Stop the count. Keep the count. Like,
at what point do you? I mean, mind you, I'm a heartless demon, so it's a little different for me. But at what point do you no longer feel sorry for these people?
I just saw. I forget where it was. If it was on the Midas Touch or if it was on Brian Taylor Cohen's channel, that a Trump supporter went to one of his rallies, and she ended up walking out because she was so tired of hearing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and that he sounded insane. That's what she said. She's like, I don't like Kamala Harris and I don't like Joe Biden, but this guy sounds like he's lost his mind. And this is
The problem is, though, he sounded that way 4 years ago.
He hasn't changed how he sounds. His speeches sounded like this in 2016, 2015.
I think that they've gotten worse, honestly.
Yeah, but he wasn't the peak of.
He peaked in 2016. That's it. He's done. He's done.
Like, that's not the person you want to give the commitment speech. So he's not, okay. I just don't understand how they don't understand at this point that he's never been different. He's getting worse, yes, but he's never been different than that. That same person that you walked out on is the exact same person all those many years ago telling you the same garbage. He never changed his rhetoric. He never changed his stance.
So promising
about what
the same things
to right now is that he has a different target. That's
it. He's promising the same things he promised then, because he didn't do anything in the 4 years.
As a matter of fact,
making threats.
As a matter of fact, to Jenny's point, in an interview that he did, he was talking about, after the DNC, and he had to go calling everybody to make his feelings feel better. He called Newsmax, and then he called Fox News. I mean, he was just making the rounds, calling everybody to cry and complain. I kid you not. He said that he built the wall. Not even 2 breaths later, that he didn't build the wall and it needs to be finished. So which one is it? Did you build it or did you not build it? And if you built it so well, why are we suddenly being invaded again? The wall didn't work.
Why didn't Mexico pay for it?
No. And here's another thing. Now he's claiming Canada is invading us. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now?
Because we all got to be afraid that we're being invaded
by Canadians. I will. If a Canadian is invading us, I will gladly trade you a burrito for some of that maple syrup. I'm not going to be running around screaming with my hair on. We're being invaded by the Canadians. I mean, why would Canada want to come down here? Seriously. Why? So that they can pay an arm and a leg for healthcare and then get shot when they go grocery shopping? No. You know, like, no.
Rudy Giuliani, the Georgia election workers who successfully sued the former New York Mayor Giuliani for defamation, asked the federal court to enforce the $146 million judgment in their favor, listing a wide variety of personal items that could be used to pay off the money that is owed. The lawyers for Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss are seeking a court order requiring that Giuliani turn over within the next 7 days his properties in New York and Florida. He has 2 houses. His Mercedes-Benz, more than 24 luxury watches, various sports memorabilia, including 3 New York Yankees World Series rings, which those would fetch a very, very, very hefty price, and other personal items. They also argue they are entitled to payments that Giuliani has said that he owes from the 2020 campaign and the Republican National Committee for his work. So they want your back checks.
Yeah, well, they actually had also that the $2 million that Trump owes, they want it to go straight from Trump to them and bypass going through Rudy's bank account.
Garnishment happens all the time.
Yeah. That is if Trump ever pays
Trump
Rudy.
never paid Rudy, though, I thought.
Yeah.
Because Rudy was complaining that Trump owes him, what, like $2 million or something? He never paid him?
They're basically raiding Rudy's closet. They're like his watches, his this, his Rolodexes.
Because if you owe the IRS, that's what they would also do. They'd come into your house and take everything that they
every little thing.
Their money. So will they get at least the majority of what they are owed?
His New York apartment's worth $5 million. I forget what his condo in Florida's worth. And then any money he has in his bank accounts.
All of that for an orange clown that you knew this was not going to work. You knew this wasn't going to work. You knew this wasn't going to work, and you did it anyways.
Drunk ass, broke ass Rudy Giuliani. I hope he has to either move in with the son or he's pushing a grocery cart around Manhattan. Because he is an awful, awful person.
Not to mention you're indicted in how many places?
To sick people on those poor women that were just doing their job during the election. It's like, I hope they...
And it wasn't just to sick people on him. They needed a scapegoat to cover up for how badly Trump lost because his ego couldn't take it. So let's go scapegoat these 2 poor black women over there and let them
endanger their lives, though.
Yeah,
and they're still in danger.
Yeah.
So they've got to pay for security and stuff. I hope they get every little penny.
Sell his freaking dentures if you have to.
Yeah. Sell his bottles of vodka and his martini shaker.
He won't be needing them in prison. That's for damn sure. So will they get the money they're owed?
What I hate about these type of things is that it takes so long.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I hate.
I know.
You owe them. That should be the end.
The thing is he's got the money to draw this out in court indefinitely. That's the problem. Look at what Trump's done his whole life. He's had the money to just never seek justice, you know? Like, I mean...
He's hidden some wealth that's going to take him a while to forensically put together. The money that they're getting, I'm getting, it's a relatively small part of that 149 million. Because there's a lot of theft and there's a lot that they can't figure out where the family wealth went to. Like he's probably moved it in his son's accounts, that kind of stuff. So are they going to get the whole chunk of change? No, but they're going to get a lot. So even 10 million, whatever they can get, God bless them. It's going to be a hard battle, though. They're going to have to keep pushing it through the courts.
Are they going to get everything? No. There's going to be parts missing. There might have been some conversations with somebody that he trusts about where they're going to put the money, hide it, squirrel it away. But they are going to get things of value, finances, and eventually bankrupt.
In rings, right? With that ring card.
The ring is not just jewelry, but it's anything that is of value that is not cash money. This would be resources. If he's got stocks, bonds, whatever, Roth IRAs, that's gone too. Eventually, he's going to hit bankruptcy. But they're not going to get it all. So how much are they suing him for, Johnny?
146, I think it said.
146 million?
Uh-huh.
It's not going to be 146 million. They're still going to be financially set, and they're going to bankrupt him. Good. Do to him like they did to Alex Jones. Exactly how they did to Alex Jones. For every damn penny he's worth. That's everything.
Mm-hmm. I get the same thing. The full card, the 9 of Cups, is your items, your luxury items. Anything that's worth a lot of, like collections, though. It's with the 9 of Cups. Instead, like the 9 of Pentacles is like your Benz and your diamond rings. But this is anything he collects, like those World Series rings, or anything that's, if you have a car collection, too. There's a bunch of stuff that they could take advantage of. A lot of things are being hidden. This is the Moon and the 7 of Swords, so theft and dishonesty. So they're hiding a lot of stuff for him. Somebody is specifically. There's another person attached to this. Because like the Lover's card, the 6 of Cups, somebody that he's used for some time. So some sort of financial group or whoever that can make things look like other things or make things just disappear altogether in the Cayman Islands somewhere. But that somebody's helping him do that. 4 of Pentacles, he's not going to be able to hold on, though, to everything. That greed and miserly behavior, he will actually be broke. Well, bankrupt.
To answer Joyce Matthews, I am not saying that he's going to file for bankruptcy. I am saying that they're going to bankrupt him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He already tried to file bankruptcy and the judge wouldn't let him.
That's not him running to the courts filing bankruptcy to get out of it. That is him losing everything because of the lawsuit to where he really is going to be bankrupt. If that
and one of them dogmatic, smartmatic, somebody matic still suing him too?
Yeah. Smartmatics and Dominion.
When he filed bankruptcy, it got thrown out because he wasn't honest on the forms. He wasn't honest in discovery about what he had and what he didn't have. And they threw it out.
So it's not, in my read, it's not him seeking bankruptcy to not pay. It's when all this is done, he is literally going to be bankrupt. Because like Johnny was saying, this is just Shane Moss and Ruby Freeman. He still has Dominion that is personally suing him and Smartmatic that is personally suing him. And I think Capitol Police are personally suing him.
Yeah.
And members of Congress are personally suing him.
And not to mention all of the attorney costs.
Capitol Police.
Different states, you need a lawyer for Arizona and Georgia and DC and
so by the time this is all said and done, the only thing he's going to have left is the hair on his head. That's it.
And that's going away too.
That was melting off him.
I know all about that story, sir. Okay. How does Jack Smith feel about his re-indictment?
Johnny, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Your grand tableau and my grand tableau both showed additional charges coming for Trump. I need to go back and look at mine. I have the chart right here, but I haven't really looked at it. The ones that he filed were superseding. Did your tableau say superseding or additional ones?
New charges.
New charges?
New charges.
Okay, this is Roro for the chat.
So what was the question?
How does he feel about his re-indictment? Does he feel as though this is a strong case now? Well, a strong case to begin with, but
See how to tell the difference between Roro and Skewy. Skewy faces the camera and puts his butt in my face first thing, and hence why I was able to hold his face up. Roro shows her butt to the chat and faces me first. Jack Smith. He spelled it out too. It was well written.
How many individual counts were there on the DC case?
4.
But 4 felony counts, or was it more than 4? Because remember, he was at 88. Well, 91, they bumped it down to 88.
Yeah, but 34 of them were up in New York. A bunch of them were in Georgia. This case, the Chutkin case, is only 4 counts.
4 counts, but did they have like the indictment here and the counts right below?
I don't remember.
So like
I
the
think
indictment is defrauding the U.S. Count 1, count 2, count 3, count 4. Everything that piles up under that.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know it's 4 indictments. He's hanging on. He's like, his success is growing. He's putting in a lot of effort, and he's trying to show the shifting of the votes, like the electoral votes and things like that. He's basically done. He's got it all wrapped up, ready to present it. And I think they've got a meeting in September to present it. Good news card, job well done, and the votes and everything. He's got some other people that are trapped in this, because remember, there were like how many unindicted co-conspirators in this case? He's got a bunch of other people. He's getting some plea deals together, but he's got some other people that are trapped in it that he's getting ready to bring out indictments on. So I think before the election, we could see some additional indictments, whether it's on members of Congress or the campaign or the Rudy Giuliani's, whoever. There's some additional indictments coming. And could be additional charges for Trump.
So how is Jack Smith feeling? The child, the scythe, the birds, the bouquet, and the fish. The guy's not innocent. Child and scythe, he is not innocent. You're going to hear people talking, whether it's a speaking indictment or the witnesses that they're going to talk, and there is an abundance of evidence on this guy. So he's feeling pretty joyful, very optimistic, very, very, very happy. Kind of looking like, okay, the Supreme Court decision, the scythe, the decision that the Supreme Court handed him, and then the bouquet, the scythe and bouquet. Okay, I'll put it within your parameters. He's still guilty. I'll frame it however you want to frame it, but there is an abundance of evidence here that says the guy is still guilty. He's not innocent.
This was not done as a president. This was done.
Nope. And then it's child, birds, and fish. There's going to be a lot of testimony from people against Trump, and a lot of stuff that may be said during a hearing where they're talking. He's happy about it.
Because he had another grand jury he convened to get these 4 superseding indictments. And let's not forget, he's also fighting to turn around Cannon's verdict down in Florida. We forgot about those.
That one, he just kind of filed the paperwork and left it. He didn't even tell them to remove her, which I'm sure that once it gets to the 11th Circuit, they'll look at it and be like, yeah, Cannon needs to go. and reopen the case. But yeah, he's feeling very optimistic because he knows, like he knows, like the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. The guy ain't innocent. It doesn't matter what lifelines the Supreme Court try to throw to help him. Yeah. He's still got him nailed to the wall. So.
And everybody keeps asking, is Jack Smith going to be Harris's AG? We don't want him as AG. We want him to stay there and prosecute the crap out of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't want him to be the AG. And no, he's not going to be. He's going to get this job done. He is committed.
And then when he gets it done, we're going to kick the two a-holes off the court. And then put Jack Smith in there. That would be nice. That
would be like, I'd rather see him on SCOTUS too. Or
that would be my wet dream. And then expand the court and make Mitch McConnell choke on it. Choke on that, mofo. Just saying.
You can spell it.
Okay.
Johnny, you didn't go. You didn't go.
No, it's fine. I want to look at what is the political influence from Donald Trump going after the election. Right now, and I get it's the craziness and it's the mob mentality and that whole bit. But the fact that the majority of the Republican Party is being controlled by the minority of the Republican Party is wild to me. But I get it because they're the loudest. And that's why they seem like they're everywhere, because they're the ones who create the most hectic or chaotic environments. They create the most threats there are. So I get it. But
and they got the media chasing them all the time. They're media hounds.
And to that, I salute Mitch McConnell, because in his ambitious quest for more power, he's created this monster that is the current GOP. Because in his quest for power, the only way to get there was to let the freaking crazies in. Well, now they've burnt down the building and the crazies have taken over the asylum.
There you go. Top of horrors, when the thing was this big, you kept feeding it and kept feeding it and kept feeding it, and now you can't get rid of it. And now it controls you.
And when you offer your base nothing but culture wars, because you can't give them policies, because if you were to give them policies, nobody in their right damn mind would ever vote Republican again. You created the monster. So here you go, Mitch McConnell. Here you go. Enjoy. So the question is, what is
Donald Trump's political influence after the election? Is it still strong? Because he controls them. He's their puppeteer now.
He put Laura in at the RNC. So,
like, why don't they let him get away with that? I don't understand. He's their karma, I guess. Thank you, Orchid.
There's a lot of unfinished work, but there's a lot of abandonment issues too. It will take a long time to return to a powerful party, a long time, because the loop is running in all their constituents' heads, as well as some of the House members and Senate members, right? The loop keeps running, and a lot of them are going to get blocked out, losing seats and things like that. So their support has been so manipulated. It's the crazies, and then there's the ones that shifted to the Democrats. It'll take a while for them to ever have any power again.
I would hope so. I would hope that we talked about this last Sunday, all the Republicans that are voting Democrat this year, I hope that they finally open their eyes that the economy is actually better under Democrats. Job growth is better under Democrats. Stability economically is better under Democrats.
And every time, too.
Every time. And like we were talking about this last Sunday when Bill Clinton said at the DNC 51 million jobs and only 1 million were created by Republicans since 1989. The data is there. You don't need, I mean, I was very young at that age. I was like, what, 8 years old, 9 years old in 1989. So I wasn't really paying attention. But you can go back all the way to Reagan. Fuck, even Nixon. Every time there's a Republican in office, there's a recession like clockwork. And the debt.
I mean, the Dem has to come in, clean it up, turn the debt around, all that stuff. When Kamala wins, it will be the first time that she won't have to clean up after a Republican mess.
And that's the thing. I hope that it helps. This whole Trump thing will help for some Republicans to finally open their eyes. Because what do the Republicans have? We're the party of small government. Small government, my ass, when you want to tell my kids what they can and can't read, what they can and can't say, who they can and can't love, what I can and can't do with my own body.
And you want to track our periods and everything else.
We're the law and order party with the felon on the top of the ticket.
On the ticket. I mean, so I hope a lot of them open their eyes and look at it and go, holy crap. The Democratic Party is what the Republican Party used to be back in the day. So I get the scythe, the stars, the bear, the moon, and the tower. Once Trump is cut off after the election, they're going to see it as he's completely cut off. But they're still going to have to deal with the image and fame and the fabricated mythology around Trump. That he was a businessman, that he was a successful president, that they won't be able to shake that from the crazy base. Because you can show those crazy people, hey, you lost your job. Your farm went bankrupt because of Donald Trump. Oh, he did great for business while you're sitting there eating ramen noodles and collecting, benefits from the government, So they're still going to have that mythology to deal with. But they're isolated. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Like he's gone, you're still dealing with the mythology. Trump is Jesus because what
and all the conspiracy theories
that he's a God king. But you've isolated people. You've isolated a lot of people. So have fun with that.
Good. Snake oil first, the fuse blown, which is rage and strife, and then mankind, which is your government and your systems and things of that nature. After the win of the Queen of Swords and victory, again, it is not guaranteed. Cards read energy now, so it's not guaranteed. That means you have to go out there and do your part. But the victory of the Queen of Swords, the Libra woman, causes some destruction of power here with the Tower and the Emperor and the Knight of Cups, which is an image. It's also a destruction of image. You have to rebuild everything. The Tower, as I always say, can be traced back. When you have a platform that is built upon everything Becca just said, your culture wars and your all this other stuff, and then you constantly trash the economy, and then you have the horrible, what we call allies, you have horrible relationships with those people, and then not so much with the other people that we don't call allies. When you have all of that, you mix it all into this little soup, you get this. And it is a fool, the man that builds his home upon sand. And so it crumbles down, and they are looking for a new leader with the King of Wands and the Ten of Cups, someone to bring in some harmony here.
And who's that going to be, Johnny? Because every single person turned around and took back all their words and the of a freaking convicted felon.
Here's the problem.
Nikki Haley, because Nikki Haley sat around and turned around
endorsed him.
and endorsed him. Same like when Ted Cruz, he was talking about his wife, and the next thing you know, Ted Cruz is sitting there with that photo
Phone
of him
banking.
on the phone and that Trump sign above his head. Like,
Uh-huh.
this is the Seven of Pentacles. This is the card of seeds in the ground, your harvest to be reaped at a later date. Your problem is not Donald Trump. It never was. Your problem is the platform that gave birth to Donald Trump.
Yep.
There is no Donald Trump in the Democratic Party. We have some people that are a little out there too, but we don't have that. Nothing like that exists anywhere else except in your party.
And here's the thing. Noam Chomsky did an interview back when Little Bush, I think, was in his second or third year of presidency. And Noam Chomsky said that the next Republican president is going to have autocratic tendencies because he was watching the trends of where the Republican Party was going. So all Donald Trump did was accelerate it, because if this guy, Noam Chomsky, a professor at MIT, can predict a Donald Trump 2 or 3 years into the Little Bush presidency, he knows what's coming, and boom, there it is. So he predicted that 10 years before it happened. 10 years, or maybe longer, because Obama was in for 8.
And Bush was in for 8.
So 16 years, give or take, 15, that he predicted an autocrat for the Republican Party, because that's the way the party was trending anyway. So, but they can't see it because they're in their bubble.
And if you remember when Trump ran in 2015, 2016, the Republicans did not post a platform on their website, and there wasn't one in 2020 either. Well, now we know why, because it's Project 2025. That's their platform.
And I just found out too, I just learned Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation isn't new. All the crap from Reagan, that was the Heritage Foundation. So
it's been sitting there. That's their platform. So they didn't need to post because they want their constituents in the dark so they can mind control them.
Keep them sick, keep them stupid. Sometimes I hate to ask questions because I don't want to see the answer, but we're going to ask anyway. Are we prepared for this November, the election, when it comes to interference and being blocked and voter rolls purging and people throwing away votes? Or are we prepared for all of that?
The legal fights and everything. I'm hearing it's going to be such a landslide. There's going to be very little fighting. You can't fight when a popular vote's a landslide.
That's what I just have the butterflies in the stomach.
He's losing voters. He lost voters in 2020 after January 6th. He lost more voters after losing his rape case and everything else. He keeps losing. He's losing by a bigger majority than he lost by the last time. So if he had 70 million votes, he'll be lucky if he's looking at 45, 50 million, is the feeling I'm getting. It's a bigger gap.
Okay.
I get a hell to the hell yeah. HD double hockey sticks. There are an abundance of advisors and protectors, meaning lawyers and stuff, people that protect and guard and secure stuff. There's an abundance of them that have answers and get access for the majority. A lot of here. So I get a yes. I asked, are the Democrats prepared for the effery that is going to be the election? And that was a big old fat yes. They have a bunch of lawyers. Oh, you know what I just heard? They got Mark Elias. They hired Mark Elias.
Yeah, Morris hired Elias. Yeah, he's all over it. Yep, there's going to be, Trump is out in the cold. I mean, it's just done. But there is a whole network of legal people and poll watchers, election watchers that are looking over this and will be successful at it. So I'm getting Dems in America coming up with the votes and coming up with the power. There's going to be the old-fashioned people that don't like it and try to stir stuff up. But they've got plenty of people watching, and it's up to us, to watch. You see something weird going on at the polls,
and regardless of everything you guys see on the internet, if you are in Texas, check your voter registration. If you are in Georgia, check your voter registration up until the point where you are ready to go vote. If you are in any of the swing states, be diligent about checking your voter registration. Because Texas, not Abbott, Ken Paxton is doing in Texas, sending out his goon patrol to go harass Latinos. And the same thing in Georgia too. Check your registration. Don't take anybody's predictions on YouTube as
I can tell you,
go vote. Vote.
You know what was really interesting when they showed the 87-year-old grandmother that Paxton had raided, who's been doing voter registration for 30 years. He went to that wacko judge up in the northwest of Texas to get the FICA warrant or whatever it is. What was really interesting to me when they were speaking about her, the people supporting her, 59% of Texas is minority. So only 40% is white. And yet they're controlling and gerrymandering and suppressing so much. Like, if we can get that 59% registered and get them to vote, they will vote out all these Republicans in the state. That's crazy. Like, I didn't realize it was that high. They said between Latinos, blacks, and Chinese is 59%.
Again, great way to win over voters by constantly attacking minorities, GOP. Good job. Good job.
And an 87-year-old woman, like, you couldn't go find somebody younger to drag out of her house? No, you took an 87-year-old great-grandma out of her house?
Listening to Mark
Shame on
Elias.
you.
I was listening to Mark Elias that he was saying that Texas, he was on the Brian Tyler Cohen show, that Texas is the most difficult state in the union to get people registered to vote, because you have to take certain classes, you have to take certain tests, and then you can only register people in your county. The voter suppression is at an all-time, it's huge in Texas, and they just put so many hurdles. And for him to do this just shows that there's some people crapping their boots right now because they realize our time is limited. Can we eke out one more cheat?
It's happening quicker in Texas. What's going to happen across the entire country? So, I mean, hence all the white supremacists and crap, because they're running scared.
From USPS, they have a thing called informed delivery.
Mm-hmm.
You can sign up for, to where it will take screenshots of your mail and send it to you. Before I left Hillsborough, I got 2 voter registration cards from Democrats, 4 Democrats that are not me. They came to my address. Now, mind you, I have already moved at that time, but they're both registered Democrats, one Roberta and one Robert. And they're coming to that house instead of the house they live in. And so check everything, because I got 2 Democratic voter registration cards here, and neither one of them are mine. And so check everything. Take nothing for granted. Check it all. Double check it. Check it every day.
Johnny's got to register in
here.
And
a different state.
The person in the chat that made a fantastic note, for those of you that live in a state that you have to show your ID, make sure your ID is up to date. If they turn you away, ask for what is it, those provisionary ballots? Do not let them turn you away, but get your asses out and vote. Don't take anything we're saying here as gospel. Get your asses out to vote. So what did you get, Johnny?
I don't know. I forgot what the question was. So,
The question was, are we prepared?
oh yes, we are.
Are we prepared?
My last question is, it's a bit petty, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Will Barron need a lawyer before he's 21?
Oh God.
It's so many. He's involved with this and he's involved with that and the crypto thing alone. Because once people, and crypto is not a crime, but so many people like Logan Paul put a crypto out there and then people invest in it and then feel cheated and then they sue. And so, will he need an attorney by the time he's 21 for whatever reason?
Johnny, I have a question after this one. Is it okay if we go just a little bit over?
Go for it.
Okay. So will Barron need an attorney before he's 21?
Bless his heart, Jesus. There's an abundance of something with the Empress card. A lot of it. It's either not a class action, but it's a lot of complaints or a lot of people or a lot of talking or a lot of something, or it's a lot of Page of Pentacles. Could be any kind of agreements, or could be crypto, could be stocks, could be something. There's something where it's an abundance of it, and then there's a Nine of Swords, Seven of Swords, where it's also a theft. Now, you can defend and say it's not thievery, but Seven of Swords is Seven of Swords. There's some theft. Mind you, the Five of Swords could say you're taking advantage, but it's not technically illegal. Seven of Swords is theft. There's some sort of stealing or some sort of theft. And the Four of Cups, you should also see this coming already, because there's signs of it already there. The Four of Cups is 3 cups are in front and 1 cup is coming in. There's repetition there. You see this already. So yes, there is something there. And oh my God.
Melania may be involved too. She may have them because there's theft and corruption, the 2 cards you need to see involving gifts of money that people are going to be talking about, and it's pretty steady. Again, card of communication, or it could be like wire transfers or money laundering. They will come after him strongly. I also get he may have to find a new place to live. Something maybe this whole family is just going to regret.
He's going off to college, so maybe that's.
It's all, wait, I can't find the card now. It's all because of your dad. That's your dad.
And once the darkness comes and claims Spanky, that whole family is going to turn into a circular firing squad. Just like Trump did to his siblings and his nieces and nephews and stole from them, that's what this is going to turn out.
They're going to turn on each other.
I get the tower, the coffin, and the woman. There's something legal here that causes losses for a woman, and she steals something that is important. So I don't know if this is his mama, that she comes to significant losses here legally, and she ends up with significant losses, and she stole something, but there's a woman here that stole something important. Woman, thief, something important. So I don't know if that you're going to be suing your mama, you're going to be suing one of your sisters. Have fun, kid. Have fun.
Or if you're going to have a porn star by the time you're 21.
You know? So
He's probably got one in his toy box somewhere.
Oh my God. So I have a question, Johnny, if you're okay to read on it.
Go ahead.
That Oklahoma preacher guy that's being impeached. Have you read on him?
I've got his info.
There was a Twitter video floating around where they were in some sort of a meeting, and that guy, Johnny, he looked like he had just snorted a freaking mountain of cocaine. He was sitting there in his chair chewing on a pen, talking to himself, mumbling, dry mouth and everything, and people were like, this looks like a cocaine addict, you know?
Is that the Ryan Waters?
The superintendent in Oklahoma that was trying to make all the schools religious and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That guy, yeah. And he's being impeached by Republicans because he did something that was a little bit
Kinky.
too much.
What was your question on him?
Is that guy on drugs? I don't know if you've seen the video, but he looked jacked up. Like he just went and had a party with Don Jr. or something.
He went on a hunting trip with Don Jr.
Yeah, after they stopped at the donut shop, you know, like.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Are you going to do a video on him, Johnny, on that guy?
Yeah, he was on the list. I mean, I had a few more, but I'll make videos.
I'm curious to see what you get because that guy is a piece of work. He is a piece of work.
Because there were some people who gathered at the Capitol too to ask for or to demand his impeachment. He's daring them all now. So is he on some things? The because we read on him before on one of the Sunday streams. He's the one that said you have to teach the Bible as a historic document, and you also have to report in that you're doing that, because if not, you'll be violating the law.
Mm-hmm.
So there's his pushback. Now people are demanding he go away.
What did he do to get the impeachment charges?
They said that there was a basically abuse of power. They don't like the way he's running things. There was supposed to be some sort of committee funds that were misappropriated. They're adding stuff to it, basically. But if you ask me, it's all about that religious thing.
There's some problems with women and children, too. Yeah. I'm getting.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's always those religious freaks that are trying to put everybody under their control. They're the biggest deviants ever. I get yes, but it's not illegal stuff. It's stuff he's getting from a doctor.
Yeah, I was going to say it's pharmaceutical alchemists. So kind of like Trump getting Adderall and grinding it up and snorting it. He's getting it from doctors, right? Pills that he takes, protects himself. So he's a lot like Trump. He's taking pills. But he's about to go through some things in court over women and children. There's new evidence coming out on some other stuff that he's done, and it's about to get real serious for him.
I get that he has help from a doctor, and what's being prescribed is supposed to be something that helps people relax.
Yeah, so he's got a candy man.
No, but it's supposed to be a medication to help you.
Like Valium or something, or
but instead it's making him hyper. It's having the reverse, because in that video he was like, what is that one drug that if you don't have ADHD and you take it, you get all like crazy, but if you have ADHD and you take it, it calms you down? It's like one of those, because it's prescription and it has to come from a doctor, but it's supposed to relax him. So I don't know if that's Xanax or Adderall that they give
lithium or something.
It's something that or Ritalin. It's supposed to be calming, but it's having the opposite effect on him.
That's like it's pharmaceutical. It's a prescription of some sort. It's an abuse of it, though, or I shouldn't say abuse. It's a dosage problem. With the 10 of Wands, it's either he's taking too much, but I think personally with the Magician here and the Two of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, it's on purpose because it produces a particular result, and so it's on purpose, whatever it is.
they're saying Ritalin. Ritalin's the prescription that you give to people with ADHD and it calms them down. But if you don't have ADHD, it makes you like a crackhead.
Or it can.
Yeah, it can. So, but it's something that's supposed to relax them and it doesn't. It makes them hyper. But I can't wait to see that guy get dragged through the coals. I really can't.
Thank you, Mara. Thank you, Lucky Girl. Thank you, Trillium. Thank you, Deborah Ann. Thank you, June. Thank you, Uma. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, the Essence of Success Network. Thank you, Mr. DYL. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, me, myself, and I. Thank you, Orchid Lily, for the super chats. Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. I will be live with Dozen Cats Kelly. And we will be doing a celebrity live stream and doing some reads there. And next week we will be on Jen Lynn's channel. Remember, Sacred Sounds of Coffee is when?
Spark Soul Therapy is Gail's channel on Friday morning.
Friday morning. So we will see y'all all then. And y'all have a good night. Remember, stay vigilant, stay blue.
And stay petty.
Stay petty, people.
Well,
When they go up, you kick them in the face.